How do I find time to do everything I do? What do you mean? Are you implying that I spend a lot of time playing video games? I spend 1 day a week playing video games. That's why I spend the whole day playing video games. This is my day off, and I spend it playing video games. So let me give you some perspective here. Just because I've been streaming for 12 hours does not mean I play video games a lot or waste my time playing video games. If you think about it this way, people have days off in their week. People who work normal jobs. My day off is my stream day, and even though I still consider it work, kind of, because I'm, you know, this is footage that I'm recording for my gaming channel, and I play games that are entertaining to stream, not necessarily games that are random or anything. I make the most of it by streaming all day. And I could, theoretically, be a person that on my day off, if it were a Sunday still, I could spend all day just relaxing and doing nothing on the couch, not playing video games. But either way, it's like, I don't know. I'm getting like 12 hours of footage today. Oh, something. Oh, there we go. Eyeball. Oops, oops, oops. I'm getting a lot of footage today. It's stuff that I can do productively for my job. And I'm also not doing my regular thing, and I consider it a day off. So every other day this week, aside from a stream that I'm doing with a friend this week in particular, is a day that I'll be working. And that's usually how it goes. You know, I don't have to justify myself, but I figure the more times I say it for new audience members, the more people will just fucking get it. Because I'm managing my gaming channel. I'm doing my YMS channel. I just released an hour-and-a-half long video this month. I'm recording a full-length album that I've been working on for 2 years. I'm shooting a music video that I've been working on for 2 years. The album, more realistically, almost 3 years at this point. Just kill me. You want to kill me? You want to kill me now? Kill me now. Kill me. Is it weird being my own boss? Like, when do I stop working? That's the thing. Because I'm my own boss, I don't stop working. So, like, when I have friends over, if I'm having people over or something, it's literally always for the purpose of me doing something where I can socialize but also work at the same time. For instance, yesterday I had a bunch of people over to watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, but that's something that I was watching for my podcast, which I'm going to discuss with Alex and Ralph in a week, I guess. So like it's work that I need to get done, but at the same time I can hang out with people, you know, and like every movie I see in theaters, I try to invite friends, but that's mostly when I see people. Or like Scott, you know, like he hangs out with me the most out of anybody because he's somebody that hangs out with me because he's on my stream, you know, like if it's not something that I can be productive with, if it's not something that I can say, hey, this is kind of work at least, then I don't do it. And unfortunately, it's caused situations where it means that I basically just don't hang out with some people because they're not people that I do work-related things with, and I feel bad about it, but, you know, I'm a productive person, so... Well, yeah, I wouldn't be playing video games if I wasn't streaming it and turning it into something. The only video games I play outside of this would be the video games that I've recently been playing just for exercise purposes. So I have my my exercise bicycle, and I realized recently that just like half an hour a day where I can like play some shit on Halo or whatever and go on my exercise bicycle at the same time, it's a lot easier to exercise and it's easier to motivate myself. And so I'm trying to be more active because that's something that I've really been neglecting the past few years with how much I've been working. Honestly, like once my album is out, hopefully this year, I'm really hoping, like we're almost at the mixing process. Like I think people will be impressed by it. it'll be clear how much work went into it, honestly, to anybody that knows anything about music. Like, it's all real instruments. Like, I learned like 6+ instruments just for this. Honestly, like, it's just how I am. I go hard. Like, I'm a go big or go home kind of person, and I would like to, ideally, if I'm set up in a good position for it, I would like to just take a fucking year off at some point soon, honestly, from like everything, and just enjoy life and come back to it later. Not even kidding. Like, I'm literally a person who's only in the situation that I'm in right now because I said fuck it to everything else in my life. Like, I didn't don't mean to sound like pompous or anything, but I didn't just like trip and fall and all of a sudden I have a successful YouTube channel. Like, everybody that's ever lived with me has seen how hard I fucking work, has seen how many times I say like, nope, can't hang out today, sorry. Where like everybody in the house is like chilling, watching shit on the couch, and I'm like, well, gotta go in my room and work. You know, like, it's, you have to make sacrifices for yourself if you want to actually get anywhere. It's very important to be self-disciplined and make those kind of sacrifices. But it's something that's necessary, and hopefully I can be in a position where I can be like, hey, I'm less than 30 years old and I have a good amount of money and stability where I can take like a year off, you know, like, and just enjoy life for a bit, you know. But that's the thing, is like, people want to enjoy life as quickly as they can. People want to enjoy life at, oh, hand grenade, this could be useful. In order to do any of this shit, like, what it meant was that I wasn't, you know, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't going to the bar or anything, like, during the points in a lot of other people's lives where they normally would. I'm so surprised that didn't hurt me. Like, at a similar age, I knew tons of people where, like, their only goal at that point was just like, okay, how do I get high? And it's like, I don't avoid drugs or alcohol, that's for sure. Like, those are things that I do at this point, but only because I can afford them, and only because I can do them around my work, not replace my work with it, you know? When I was trying to get my channel off the ground, when I was working 3 other jobs at the same time, that was a point in my life where I was literally just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do nothing else, and then once my channel's successful, then maybe I can start to consider, oh, fuck! Start to consider doing other shit, you know? But you can't do that until you're at a point where realistically it makes sense. There's like, I have a lot of friends that, like, obviously would want to be in this position that I'm in, but don't necessarily want to make the sacrifices or put in the work to do it. And I see them, they're always at every party, you know, like, they're all, you know, like, in their free time, they're looking for things to do, like play video games and find a way to essentially cure their boredom. But what you need to do, what's absolutely essential, is when you have free time, that's when it's the most important to... Uh-oh, shit! Ah! That's when it's the most important to be doing something productive. Like, what do you want to do with your life? Learn a new instrument. You can do it on YouTube now. Like, I didn't even have that shit when I was a kid. You know, like, when I was doing all my band shit, getting that shit off the ground, like, YouTube was just starting out when I was recording my first album. Like, I already had put in so much of the work. Now it's, like, easier than ever to do your own thing independently. Oh my god. I'm completely serious though. Like, if you're a person that's watching this, I mean, whether you're young or not, because honestly, it's never too late to start doing this. Like, you need to, if you have passions in your life and you're not going the direction you're wanting to, and you're thinking like, hey, I want to do something in the entertainment industry or on YouTube or music or self-publishing or, you know, writing or, you know, like, you can't just, like, you can't just work your regular job 9 to 5 or whatever hours you have. You can't just do that and then in your free time like go hang out with friends and be like, "Oh, how can I cure my boredom right now?" You know, like always say yes to every party and like never let anyone down. Like you can't do that if you want to do something with your life, if you really actually care about it. Like if you're fine just being like, okay, I'll work some job that I don't like and maybe work my way up in the company, or you know, go to college and do this thing, but I'm not really interested in, but I have my passions, but it's not the end of the world if I don't fulfill those passions, then whatever, that's fine. But if it means everything to you and you have passions that you need in your life and you need to achieve those goals, then you have to make sacrifices. That's the only way to do it. Literally. I'm not even kidding. Like I literally would not be in this position if I didn't, you know, say no to a lot of people a lot of the time. A lot of people who probably feel offended by the fact that I don't hang out with them much, including family members, you know, where it's like, like, hey, no, sorry, I have my own responsibilities and I gotta get this shit done, especially, you know, trying to get it off the ground. Like, it's absolutely necessary if you care about that in your life. And for me, it was literally like, okay, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna kill myself. Not even kidding. And so, you know, like, that's how serious it is to me, and obviously I'm here. I'm not even where I want to be yet. Like, there's still things that I need to do. Like, my album is a part of that. Like, I'm very passionate about my music. Did I know this from the get-go, or did I have to learn this? That's a good question. I don't know exactly when I became a work ethic-oriented person. I remember somewhere between the ages of like 13 and 15. It was like, okay, this is all or nothing. Like, I wasn't interested in anything else. That's why I dropped out of high school, is to work on my music, honestly. I literally dropped out of high school just to work on my music. I'm not saying you should drop out of school, but... You know, the fact that Anthony Fantano tweeted me calling me a bitch for not releasing my album yet is actually good. It means that he's actually interested in hearing it, so... And I mean, like, even the film review shit is, like, all a part of the plan. Honestly. It's so weird, because, like... There's almost every... Not almost every, but... So many other YouTubers that I've talked to, or have been interviewed by people, they get asked, like... Oh, did you expect that you'd be doing this, like, as a celebrity? Like, you have a successful channel and all that? Every single one of their answers is always like, oh, no, man, it just happened. Like, I was just doing something as a hobby, and then it just blew up, and it was really good, and, like, wow, I'm so lucky to be here. Like, again, not to sound pompous or anything, but, like, I didn't trip and fall and all of a sudden have a successful YouTube channel. It was very calculated, right? The entire reason why I started doing my film reviews is because I was taking a break from doing my music, and the reason I was taking a break from doing my music has always been my passion. I've been writing music since way before I had a YouTube channel. Obviously, you can see, or sorry, way before my film review channel. Obviously, you can see on my music channel that, you know, I was publishing videos there way before, doing live shows there way before, trying to work on, like, band and all that shit, record, blah, blah, blah. And I guess I was 19 when I started my film review channel, and basically the idea was, I understood that YouTube is a very powerful tool in terms of marketing one's online presence, and that's also very important if you want to, you know, start a career doing something. Because once you have an audience, you can do anything. Once you have an audience that's interested in what you're doing, you can use it to kickstart your other projects, get other things off the ground, and you know, in my case especially, use it to fund other projects. And so with my music channel being something where it's like, okay, I'm creating original songs. So basically, my plan was music, and only music for a while. The secondary goal was also just like making a name for myself doing anything artistically, really, just expressing myself. And I enjoy these film reviews, you know, like I enjoy expressing myself and expressing my opinions. I get to do it creatively. I get to show editing. I get to, you know, have my own personality in it. Basically, the reason why I put my music on the side burner, despite releasing an EP in 2010 when I was 19, the entire reason why I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to work on music for a while and literally just focus on my film review channel and nothing else, was because I realized that the way that internet algorithms work is that in order to get anywhere successfully and build an audience, you have to be creating derivative content, with minor exceptions. Very minor exceptions. So something like OK Go, where all of their music videos are like, you know, cool, impressive, trippy Rube Goldberg machines or choreographed, you know, like that's something where it's non-derivative content, but they can actually get somewhere with it. Basically, I looked at my music and I was like, okay, well, I'm creating original music. That's not derivative content. You know, derivative meaning deriving from something. My own original music is not derivative. It's not, I'm not doing cover songs. I did one cover song kind of where I added some keyboard parts to a Bright Eyes track, and that's on my music channel. But pretty much other than that, like, everything that I'm doing is entirely non-derivative. The biggest music channels that were on YouTube were either things like OK Go, where I didn't have the budget or, you know, collaborators or resources to be able to pull that thing off, and also the type of music that I'm making where, you know, the theme is, hey, I'm sad, is not going to work for people dancing on fucking treadmills or anything of the sort. I can't really create any of that kind of content with the music that I'm making. And then on top of that, if I were to do any kind of cover songs, like I did one cover, you know, like I just mentioned for that Bright Eyes thing, I'm not going to all of a sudden start doing Lady Gaga covers, right? And so there were a lot of channels on YouTube at the time when YouTube was in its infancy where there were quite a few successful channels where they were making original music, but the only reason anyone was listening to their original music was because they were doing Lady Gaga covers or whatever else was popular, right? Lady Gaga, blah, 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 blah. I'm using Lady Gaga as an example, not saying she's shit, but, like, it's very popular pop music, but that's not what I'm passionate about. Like, that's not one of my favorite artists. Like, if I were to do a cover of Poker Face on the piano, sure, it would get, like, 1 million hits if I did it really well and I had an amazing voice. But at the same time, like, it would be a lie. It would be me forcing myself to do something for clicks that it is not representative of myself. It's not me. It's not, like, anything I'm passionate about. So that was really out of the question. And I didn't really want to do that at all. Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I can't really do anything music-related right now because I can't build an audience just doing original songs. Like, it's literally not possible. Unless I'm making, like, OK Go music videos, or unless I have the budget to be recording tracks forever, you know? Like, it cost me $5,000 to record 4 songs, and even then, like, the production value of those 4 tracks was not that great. It wasn't like it wasn't like a well-produced EP or anything. Like, that's why it was just a demo and nothing else, and I was, like, 19 when I recorded that. I watched the Red Letter Media reviews, and I was a person that knew that, like, okay, well, I have some things to say about films that are, you know, either unconventional or go against the grain, or, you know, I'm very opinionated about movies. I had already, before that point, been recommending a lot of movies to, like, friends and, you know, family of friends and things, and, like, people would go up to me for recommendations, and I found that interesting, you know, that I was already a source of, I was already, like, more or less oh, come on, you're all gonna wake up at once? So it's not like I just jumped into another category, like, completely not passionate about it or anything. Like, there was already a passion there, obviously, and there was already some reason to do it and develop my skill doing it. But essentially, I had to put my music on the back burner because I knew that doing my film review thing was a surefire way at growing an audience because it's derivative content, because it's something like, look at every single commentary channel on YouTube. Look at all of them. right? How did they get famous? Because they were talking about other channels that are already popular. They were talking about other concepts that are already popular, right? And my film review channel is a situation where I'm talking about movies that are already popular. That's how internet algorithms work. So if I were doing cover songs on my music channel, aka making derivative content of songs that are already popular, that would be great, but I'm not, like, the bands that I like are not the popular bands. So I would just be lying to myself and building an audience full of people that don't even have the same taste of me. And I wasn't ready to do that, right? And so now I've built my audience. I'm making enough money that I can record my album. So this is like almost 10 years after I recorded my EP, and holy shit, like, I'm 27, I'm still young. You know, that was a sacrifice that I had to make. Deciding, like, hey, this is how I can build myself to a position where I can sustainably make my goals easier. So now it's like, okay, I'm making my album under the best conditions possible, because I can not only afford to do it, but I'm like my own boss. I have an audience that I've built up, right? Like, I have a guaranteed amount of people that are going to listen to it. Like, the EP itself has already done tremendously well because of my film review channel. The reason why Blondie covered one of my songs is because of my film review channel, where it's like, yeah, that's still my passion. Like, music is always going to be my passion, but, like, it needed a boost, you know? It needed something to get it out to people. And now I'm in a position where I can realistically do that. You know, like, I can realistically create something professional. And this is a studio album. Like, I'm paying for studio time. And so it's very expensive. And this is something that I would not have been able to do if I were not doing my film review channel, is the thing, right?
Thanks for watching. Shout out to my $5 and up patrons: Lemonade Warrior, Diegesus, Rift, Brendan Stuper, Malaf Shah, Pitwang, and Mechadong. See you next time.
Stay! Stay! Holy shit, you're fucking fast! Oh my god, why are you so fast? You're so fast! Who's a fast boy?